Okay, the original plan for this head was to cut it up after DV did his magic to it. And I changed the design a little bit. But the closer I was getting to cutting it up, I said, you know what? It's nice when it's all together because I can actually measure right from it and copy it on my ports. So I originally made like a hole in this, and you can see I hit this port with the drill when I was drilling it out. I made a bunch of holes and then broke it out with a hammer and just gave it a quick once over with the grind to get rid of any sharp edges. I actually hit this with the burr just to take the scale and rust off of it so we could see the shape a little better. I think you guys can see that flat roof a little better now, right? And then it comes off that roof and it has that nasty bulge that I can't stand. But now I can get in there a lot better with the calipers and measure this. It was a ton of work to just get it to this point. This cylinder head is tough. I mean, take a look. Take a look at how thick that iron is. They did not skimp on the iron, even though it's, you know, you could probably get away with the outside being thinner than that, but sheesh, plenty of iron. But like the other guy made a comment, you know, Mopars with core shift. Maybe that core shift is one of the reasons the ports are as thick as they are. Right? If they make a thicker port and the core shift is off, you don't have to worry about it cracking because it's still got plenty of metal there. If you go to make a really thin casting and you have core shift, it's going to be so thin that it may crack during warranty period, and you don't want that. All right, can we get in here closer? Take a look at it. I even hit, you know, with the burr down low because it's interesting to see how it's attached to the deck, right? The radius it has on the deck there. And I'm going to say the way this is designed and how wide that is, I think guys are putting bigger than 2-inch valves in these. I'm going to say I bet you can squeeze a 205 in there. Which I've done that to Chevys. I took a Chevy, foolish project, right? A set of old heavy cast 307 heads, right? They have 1.72 inch intakes. I cut it for a 2055 intake valve with a really small port and a really big valve. That shouldn't work, right? Oh, it worked. It worked really well. It worked beyond what I ever thought it would run. So if you can do that on a Chevy, there's a good chance you could go with that much bigger valve on this. I'm looking at the exhaust port and I'm talking about the intake port. Sorry, guys. Fried. But you get the idea. Will I be doing the same thing on the intake side? Let's take a look at the inside intake side and see what we got. Okay, the intake side I didn't clean up with the burr, but it's not as easy to expose the entire port because of the way the plug goes into the chamber here. I mean, I could probably grind it away, but when you're grinding, you know, iron that's 3/8 of an inch thick in spots, it does not grind fast. I don't care what kind of burr you're using on it. And it is interesting. I mean, look at how much metal we have right here by this bolt hole, right? You can make it thin there, but then the whole casting has a notch right here. This is our thinnest spot, right here. If they just put a little more metal there, that would have been better. Because that's the side you really want to put bias on. And the amount of bias we're able to put into it is definitely limited. Is it the end of the world? No. It's not. So you can see I cleaned up right here because I was trying to use the Sonic and get some thickness, thicknesses of the roof there. So will I work on this some more? I don't know. You know, this is our common wall, so this is solid. This is all solid, right? But what's nice about the way DV did it is we can measure the thicknesses all along this now, easy. Let me see what else I need to talk to you about on this head. Okay, just to give you a quickie, what this port looks like. Notice it's definitely bigger than what we're working on right now, and it also flows a lot better. So I would like to bring up Tim's heads little at a time to what these are. Actually, I'd like to beat this design by a considerable amount, to be honest. All right, guys. I think I'm done with this. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night.